This is
gosh.
Badass Mother Friends, and I'm your host, Jax. I'm here with the smoking hot, badass mother friend, Stephanie Germino. Am I saying your name right?
Yes,
Germino.
absolutely.
Stephanie Germino. Hi. I haven't seen you in 100 million years.
It feels like it, honestly.
Yeah. Last time
I was
we
like,
saw
it was
each other,
like fever dream.
It was a fever dream. That was a crazy long day.
It was.
We were in like a hotel room making TikToks.
And then I was on stage topless.
Yeah, you were on stage topless, which, it was like a radio show. It definitely threw all of the, especially the male radio older
I was like, I
dudes
wonder if they're
for
going
it.
to get in trouble for that.
I mean, I wonder if we did. I think there was like some sort of like, whoa, what are you doing? But we said, fuck it, we ball.
Right. And then we were in the casino till like what? 1 a.m.?
Yeah, I know my husband was there for a lot longer than that.
Oh.
I know he lost a lot of money and then made it back. So apparently
I was down like a lot.
I think he broke even going in.
No, I made
That
like
is the rule.
$800.
As long as you walk out with the money you came in with,
Sure, yeah.
it's fine.
Don't tell him that.
I have just recently started going to the casino more, and I love the Casper game.
What's that?
It's the slots, but it's Casper. Like the friendly ghost.
Oh,
And I win big. And by big, I mean like $400, $500 each time. I'm like, okay, let's go home.
okay. So it's
Play
blessed.
2. Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa, I can't gamble. I suck at it. I lose everything all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's I don't gamble with anything. I'm just like a major baby.
That's hard to believe. I feel like you're very impulsive.
I like heights. I could jump off stuff and yeah.
I'm scared of heights. However, I do want to jump out of a plane.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Have you done it?
Yeah, a lot of times.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went, my husband and I, on one of our first dates, and it was awesome.
This is before Charlie.
Yeah, I never really thought I would never jump out of a plane now.
Right.
Wow.
As being a mom, you think about it. You're like, I can't put myself at risk or anything like that.
No way. I actually was never afraid of death
Until now. Because then you think about you'd be leaving her.
Yeah.
And she
The
would.
only reason to be afraid of death would be her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's literally what I tell myself and Josiah. I'm like, I would never leave you no matter what. Life changes so much after having a kid.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us about Josiah. By the way, to backtrack for those who have no idea what we're talking about and why Stephanie came on stage shirtless, topless at my show. From what I remember, there was a genetic mutation in your, I want to say this right, but BRCA1.
Yes.
Did I get it right? Okay. Because I've like gone down this rabbit hole on 23andMe and I panicked.
Now that you have a baby, everything
well,
you
even
need to know.
after meeting you, I did.
You're like,
I got that little extra package, which I regret, by the way, because 23andMe is sus as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they have all of your DNA.
Yeah, they have it. They're probably out here cloning me. I don't know why they want to clone me, but
Are you kidding me?
stop.
Well, yes, I have a genetic mutation in my BRCA1 gene, the BRCA1 gene. We all have BRCA 1 and 2, but the genetic mutation put me at an 87% risk of getting breast cancer. And breast cancer is very prevalent in my family, on my mom's side, my dad's side. And so when I was little, my mom got her preventative double mastectomy, hysterectomy, and was like, don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. I did worry about it. I started getting cysts and all of that. And after having Josiah, your life changes. You think about, oh my God, I can't keep putting this off.
Yeah.
You know, when it's just you, it's like, who cares, right?
Yeah,
but then when you have a baby, you're like, oh God, I have to do everything in my power to be here for the rest of my life.
And you said it was 87% chance that you would have breast cancer.
Right. And knowing that my mom didn't, luckily, but her mom had breast cancer twice because of the gene. And at a like relatively young age. And so when I tested, I was 26, Josiah was 3 years old. And I tested positive for the gene. And I was like, since I was 18 or so, I knew that I was going to potentially be positive because when one parent has it, you're 50% chance likely to have it. And so when I tested girl.
Your whole life, you're like, do I have it?
Right. Actually, I honestly didn't think too much about it because the way my mom downplayed it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing is I don't want to be that kind of, but I don't want to be that kind of parent for Josiah. I don't want to sit there and like keep things from him thinking that it's going to help him just because I'm uncomfortable talking about it. Right.
Yeah.
And so when I tested positive, I was like, okay, what am I going to do? And I decided, okay, we're going to do the surgery. And I thought I was going to get implants, and then thought about it longer. I'm like, it could be a little bit more issues in the future with breast implants and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, let me just go flat, essentially. I went flat, and it's been a crazy turn of events. I started sharing my story, started
triggered
posting.
the whole internet.
I still do to this day. And it's so funny because people like to bring up the fact that there are children on the internet. Okay, I understand that, but
how dare you show the children that you prevented breast? Oh, I'm gonna.
Literally. So, and the thing is that I have videos. I don't like to post Josiah on the internet at all because there are creeps and there's all those things. Yeah. And I'm very hyper vigilant about that. But I did, when I first had my surgery, they were like, how do you explain this to your son? Like, do you tell him anything? And I'm like, yeah, I did. And my way of telling him was that, okay, he was 3 years old. And I told him, okay, listen, even before I had my surgery, mommy has something in her blood that can cause her to be sick in the future potentially. So mommy's going to get surgery, and mommy's going to take her boobies off. And because the thing is like with kids, every kid is resilient, but with Josiah, I didn't want to scare him.
Yeah.
You know, seeing your parent one day looking a certain way and the next day they have scars, they have tubes, they have all these things. Are you kidding me? What a cultural shock that would be.
And then just having to even process that there is a world where mom could get really sick. That's a whole other conversation. It's like now you're in death territory. You're like, okay, wait, there's even the slightest chance that my mom could be hurt or something, or weaker, you know.
And like they don't understand it, but a lot of people were like, oh, he's too young to understand. He understood just fine. He was telling his preschool teachers, my mommy's gonna get her boobies taken off. And they were like, what?
They're like, huh?
And I was like, oh God. So every time I'd go and pick him up, and they would be like, Josiah was saying that you're going to get your boobies taken off. And I'm like, oh my God, I wonder what they think. Right.
And you just said yes. And
yes. And I told them everything. And every day Josiah would come back from his dad's house. He'd be like, Mommy, did you have your surgery yet? Mommy, did you get your boobies taken off yet?
Oh,
Mommy,
he was like actually like super curious.
Yes, he is. And again,
so
he was 3, like, 4 or 5. I actually, October 27th, 2021, I had the surgery. I got them removed, and I have a video that I did post showing Josiah after my surgery looking at my scars.
Yeah.
Processing it, thinking about it. And his one concern prior to surgery was, I just want you to be okay.
Oh.
Like, I'm scared because I want you to be okay.
Sweet boy.
He is my little angel baby, and he was able to process it.
That makes me so emo. I'm already emotional. He's like, as long as you're okay.
Right. That's the thing is that
so
kids
cute.
like understand to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
As long as you can process it, they can.
Right.
And that's people don't give children enough credit, in my opinion.
They are reading you.
Yes.
They are reading you.
And that's
you're freaking out. They're freaking out. But
absolutely.
That's a testament definitely to you then. Because you were just
I was like,
cool,
all right,
calm,
cool.
collected, and badass.
He saw it and he's like, and then I was like, okay, what are you feeling? And he's like, scared. Oh. And I was like, why are you scared? He's like, because I missed you when you were doing your surgeries.
Oh.
And I was like, well, you see that I'm okay. He's like, yeah. And then he just started asking questions about it. And he's like, I had the tubes in that took the extra fluid out. And he's like, oh, it looks like juice. And he's like, but you don't want to drink it. And I'm like, no, you don't.
All of a sudden he's just getting flashbacks. He's like, wait.
Right. And so now to this day, like sometimes I walk around the house topless, and he doesn't bat an eye. It's normal for him.
That is so cool that he got to witness such a cool thing.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I remember you telling me that you breastfed him.
Yes, for almost 2 years.
I love you for that, because I'm starting to feel like a lone wolf out here.
No, I wanted to breastfeed him until he weaned. But unfortunately, I wasn't taking care of myself in the best way, like not feeding myself enough. My mental health wasn't that great. I did have support, didn't have support. I was like not, again, in a very depressive state.
I'm there with you right now. So
it's hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that they don't talk about.
All of a sudden, you are the sole responsibility for your baby, and you are not
everything
even in a
for
world
them.
where, especially if they're not really into bottles, which sometimes that happens, like that's what's happening here, where it's like you are the source, So, and 2 years is a long time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's an insane feat. And then, of course, like, you get to say that you did that. Like,
before, people always ask me, like, oh, how are you going to breastfeed? I'm like, I can't now, but okay. But
I done did that.
I literally did. That chunker came out 9 pounds, 14 ounces.
Thick boy.
Thickums. I gained 60 pounds when I was pregnant. It
was
crazy. My stomach is huge.
Girl, I think I gained 80.
Really?
Yeah. I
How
had
was
a
that on your mental?
6-pound baby. Hard. Still hard. Yeah.
Did you get any stretch marks?
All over.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like breastfeeding her, the coolest, the craziest experience
It is.
I've ever. I mean, I feel like I've accomplished a lot in my life, and I've had some cool things I'm proud of. Nothing even comes remotely close to the fact that this baby is like healthy and alive, and it was from my boobies.
You literally made life inside of your body.
And then kept it going, and we become this single vessel together every time. So the idea of weaning is really scary and hard, but then in the same breath, throughout the day, I'm just wiped. I mean, the energy is quite literally sucked out of you.
It is.
And if you're not the healthiest about it, which is almost impossible to be, especially if you don't have like a big village around you.
Right.
The amount of days I'm like, I forgot to eat the whole day. And then it's like, well, wait, breast milk comes from your blood.
Yeah.
And if you're actually just not having a big enough calorie intake,
you're not producing
enough food for your baby.
Yes.
And if you are, it's definitely wiping you out as a human, which means you can't show up for your baby in the best, like energetically show up for your baby. And, you can get anemic, and you need the right amount of iron. And
all of the things. And it's crazy because, like, unfortunately, a lot of moms and birth people can't produce milk naturally. They have a lot of issues with breastfeeding, and a lot of people have anxiety over that right before they give birth. Mm-hmm. And there's some great lactation consultants, and there's some not so great lactation consultants.
I have both.
Really? Yeah. Like, as a lot of the times, and this is not always the case, but a lot of the times the ones at the hospital are not the greatest.
Yeah, because, it's almost like the emergency room effect. It's like you go into the ER and you're like, well, why didn't they diagnose me with my glucose issues or whatever? And it's like, well, because they're there to just make sure you're not dying.
Right.
But if literally you go into an endocrinologist, they might be able to tell you.
They have more time with you. It's a more specialized thing.
Exactly. And I think that they were the lactation consultants at the hospital for me, and they were wonderful and sweet, but they were just like, it's very much like, just shove it in.
Really? Like, why can't you do this? But it's like, they don't take into account the baby's tongue tie. No. If your milk just hasn't come in yet or not.
Exactly.
But luckily I was able to breastfeed just right off the bat. And, it's crazy because obviously not having breasts now, people are like trying to figure out what they looked like before. They were huge. I got a lot of milk in. I had like one boob was like I don't know, I can't remember if it was like a G. Like the right one was major producer.
Okay. All reliable.
My left one, maybe
one,
like a C.
Just aesthetics.
Literally. And he would love to nurse from the right one because it was the most, but I would change back and forth and then like have my little catcher of milk.
Yeah, what is that called again? The haka?
I don't know. But it does, because when you're nursing one, the other one is leaking, and I'm like, I'm losing precious gold over here.
Yeah, you think, and also in the beginning, you're like, every little drop,
every drop counts.
The colostrum, the liquid gold.
Oh my god! Actually, it's funny enough. Breast milk is so amazing.
Yeah,
the things that I can do when your baby gets sick, when you're sick, when your baby needs it, your body just innately knows.
You're literally you're sharing a microbiome.
Yeah,
which is why I've gotten the question from people where it's like, oh well, why can't I kiss your baby, but you can kiss your baby? Which is also a weird question.
Why do you want to kiss my baby so badly?
The question itself is wild. But
yes.
But it's like, I could actually scientifically tell you that even my husband, I remember he got a cold sore in the beginning. Oh my gosh. He got a cold sore in the beginning of maybe, what was it, week 1
of having
Charlotte?
Oh god. No, it was like a month in.
It was less than a month. That she was teeny tiny.
Brand new. Out the box.
And you remember reading about all these things where it's like, HSV is a big, like herpes, and those cold sores are no joke, because a cold sore for an adult's fine, but if it touches a baby, it could just kill your baby, like brain dead, right?
Yeah.
And it's I remember him not realizing it came in, and he kissed her face or something like that, and we were just sobbing going, God, please take us and not her. It's like 3 in the drama. It was 3 in the morning. We're calling the pediatrician. They're like, everyone take a deep breath.
It's fine.
You're fine. Just, we killed her.
I cannot.
But breast milk, I will say, but mom and baby, it's better that we're sharing whatever's going. If she gets something, I'm like, kiss me.
Right. Let my body absorb whatever it is, so that way I can produce it.
Yeah.
Because like, especially in the nipple, when the baby's saliva is going in there, it's creating what it needs.
Right.
So like, that's why breast milk changes color. It's
so crazy.
It is like, sometimes it is that yellowish white, but sometimes it can be green. Sometimes it can be pink. Sometimes it's whatever the baby needs.
Yeah.
And so when the baby is sick, you want to nurse as much as possible, so that way your milk can change into what it needs.
How magical is God as an artist?
Literally, I'm like, wow. But I will say, I have used my breast milk for myself and my friends to help fix things.
Me
like
too.
cuts, ear infection.
Like,
I need it now.
oh, I got you,
girl. Okay, not that kind of show.
You. We'll do this later.
Right, that'll be another show.
Oh my god,
but it is.
That's my only fan.
There are people.
Are there?
Who would love? Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Is there a titty milk market?
There. Oh my, absolutely.
I mean, we joke about this, but
no, there is definitely people who will watch that, buy that, and I mean also like breast milk. I know for like even body enhancement properties. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of athletes.
Human growth hormone is like there's a black market for that, right?
You put it in your protein shakes, and it does. Okay, that's a whole nother thing. But
why do you think my husband's so buff? I've been spiking his coffee with my.
I didn't get that option in my coffee.
Oh, did you not realize it was in there? Oh, just kidding.
That creamer is actually. I knew it tasted a little homegrown.
No, but honestly, I squirted it in his eye and her eye, like diaper rash. I mean, in the beginning when I was like, for the first 2 weeks before it just became on tap, I was like, I had a little supply.
Yeah.
Because they don't tell. I didn't know this, but in the beginning, you're basically just kind of oversupplying your body, just like makes the milk, right? If you're lucky, obviously. And then after a while, your body learns a schedule. So your body just learns when your baby's hungry. Yeah. So it makes the milk on demand. Right. So if you're not pumping like on top of feeding the baby 24/7 or whatever it is, that's why there's this like weird little stigma where it's like, oh, come out with us. Why can't you just pump? You know? And it's like, if I tried to pump right now, I pull half an ounce. And I'm like, these knockers are like F cups at this point. I'm like, I'm squishing them down. Yeah, they're massive. And no one realizes that you're only making as much as your baby's. Right. Yeah. So
Josiah being a big old boy, chunker. Literally, you said,
I love him.
You said Charlie's just now hitting 16 pounds.
Yeah,
I was like, girl, my child hit that like at 2 months, I think.
Oh, God.
Man, he was huge. Huge Tampa.
Just big chungus.
Really. And I love that. I love chunky babies full of rolls, like definitely the Michelin tire baby. He got that for me. I was a huge baby too, but I was only like 7 pounds, 14 ounces.
Did you have those like thigh rolls? Like, ooh, delicious.
Mm-hmm. Literally looked like a pack of those white donuts. Constantly. I love it when my phone shows me pictures of him when he was a baby, like the Valentine's Day when he was only I think 3 or 4 months old. Yeah. And he looked like a grown man. And I'm like, I put lipstick on. I was just kissing all over him. And that was his Valentine's picture.
How cute. Oh my
so
gosh.
Adorable. But he was cluster feeding all the time. And like, I would just nurse him whenever, whenever he wanted to. He would, he did get hand, foot, and mouth.
Oh, does that mean you got it too?
No, luckily I didn't.
I bet you kind of did. And
probably.
And that's your antibodies.
Yes. And so because we were going to like these community groups and like other mom things, like I was finally getting out of the house. And he got that because one of the other kids had it. And I was like, oh my God. And it really was bad. He had like sores, like it looked like chicken pox almost, but it was just red all over his mouth and his body. And so you had to keep them naked and try to keep it dry as much as possible.
Okay. So it's just
pee everywhere. And just constantly wanting to nurse. And like, that's their comfort, right? Like sometimes it's not just about feeding. It's just about making them calm. Yeah. And
you're a pacifier.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Josiah did take a pacifier every once in a while. And it's so crazy the things that would calm him down. Like whenever he hated being in a car seat. Yeah. Unless you're driving.
Right. And then all of a sudden it's like,
yeah. But when we were out and about, and there were times also that I'd be in the back seat with him and just plop my boob in his mouth because he was crying, and I'm like over this way, like, okay, while they're driving.
The amount of times I'm like, excuse me.
Right, exactly. And like, it's so funny that there's still such a stigma on breastfeeding in public.
Don't even get me started.
I'm not covering my baby.
I mean, you know better than me.
I am not covering my baby so that we produce a lot of heat. Like, no, if you're uncomfortable with it, like, you need to reflect on that. But my baby needs to eat. Yeah. And no. But it was so weird that people were just so, weirded out by a baby nursing. Yeah. But anyways, he would calm down in his car seat with the Song of Silence.
Like Simon and
Hello,
Garfunkel?
darkness, my old friend. Yes, he would. But I'd put that in his car seat, and he would go. And that
was his happy song. His
literally, and he would just pass out. And I'm like, that needs to be studied.
Yeah, there's some like
right, and I'm like, the weirdest things that they like. But who was it that told me? Actually, it was my midwife friend. She says that babies are born with certain amount of, what is it? Pretty much like psychedelics in their head still.
Whoa.
Yeah. And that's why they get tripped out by like lights and like all this stuff. Yeah. And I was like,
fans.
Things that move, like the fish in the aquarium, that it's very much like
the fish.
psychedelic for them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't know that.
You're
that's
like,
pretty cool.
Yeah, that is sick.
But the things that make them like chill out, but honestly,
I never thought about, gosh, I just realized when I met you, I knew obviously I stalked you before I met you. I basically met you in a completely different season of life. I didn't even clock right now. I'm like watching, I'm like, holy shit, you breastfed for 2 years. You had an 87% chance of getting breast cancer while you were breastfeeding, keeping your baby alive. Yeah. Your 10-pounder at birth. And then you go outside after all of this, not only with people coming for you and looking at you weird for breastfeeding in public, but then
not having breasts
in public. And it's like,
guys,
oh my God, like you can't catch a break. No. And it's such a weird, it must be the craziest juxtaposition where it's like, now I don't even have breasts.
And it's still a problem.
They were the most magical thing. And now I'm teaching my child that, my boobs were fully functional. Mm-hmm. They were the magic that kept you alive. And now that that's gone, I don't need them for aesthetic purposes. Right. In fact, I actually feel hotter.
I
remember you telling me
genuinely,
and I get that because I feel like very top heavy right now, and I always loved I have really big boobs, so I
remember we were talking about this. Everything's been overly sexualized as women, as people and individuals, and just like what you're saying. It's being sexualized when I'm breastfeeding in public, doing something natural with them, what they're meant for. And then it's sexualized when I literally have nothing on my chest but skin. So a couple of males in my family have the BRCA gene as well.
Get out.
Yeah. I've met men on the since having my platform share that they've had breast cancer, they've had double mastectomies, and for them it's not that big of a deal because obviously men are meant to have like flatter chest and whatnot.
There's less tissue to work with.
Right. And also there are men who get like the gender affirming surgery who are cis male, meaning they identify as male, they were born as male, and they still get what is it called? When the males have more breast tissue and so they are a little bit more fuller, they get the surgery that can, remove the breast tissue and it makes more of like a pec-like look. But, and so it's like men's bodies aren't sexualized as much as women's bodies, right? But the thing is like, kids don't see that. Kids see what you tell them to see. Josiah doesn't blink an eye when he sees my chest, doesn't blink an eye. He asks questions. He loves my stomach. I have so many stretch marks on my stomach and it's soft tissue. He loves my stomach.
So does Charlie. She'd be slapping my stomach.
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like they have that innate knowing of like, that was my home.
Right. Me, I'm in the mirror going, oh God. And then she's like, oh, mom's so squishy.
Josiah constantly, even out in public, and like I have to let him know, like, okay, in public you can't be like trying to go under my shirt, doing anything like that, even though there's nothing there, like just for society. But when we're at home, he'll and then also he'll act like I'm like teaching him about, you know, consent and autonomy and stuff like that. Like, you have to ask to touch me just like I have to ask to touch you.
These are my boundaries. Yes. You have your boundaries.
But it's also, it's like, as a mom, I don't care. Like, literally, we are one. But because I want him to learn for out there in the world. You're
not one with everyone.
Right. You have to have consent for yourself, consent for other people.
Yeah.
So like when we're out in public, he wants to like put his hands on my stomach and play with my stomach, which is fine all the time, like naturally. But also, and one of the reasons I stopped breastfeeding is because I get touched out. You know,
we were just talking about this.
When you as a mom are literally not taking care of yourself, showing up for yourself, you're just in mom mode, you're not eating right, whatever. That's why I stopped breastfeeding. I wanted to go as long as he would. Yeah. You know, even though teething was.
Girl, last night I yelled at my
Does she have teeth?
She has 4 teeth. 2 top, 2 bottom. No, yeah, she bit me for the first time. But yeah, I know the feeling.
Josiah would do this thing where, I don't remember when he got his first teeth, but when he was nursing, if I wasn't looking at him, he would bite me. There were multiple times that I thought he made me bleed. Thankfully, he never did.
No, you don't realize we're actually like pretty callous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
but then they do gymnastics and they're trying to pull you over here.
The purple nurple.
Literally. I'm like, oh, because I'm like, stop it.
Oh yeah. So you got to a point where you could say no.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, no, I can't. It just took such a toll on my mental health. And that's, like I said, I stopped at 2 because I was just I was not in a good place. And I started resenting. Yeah. You know, I started getting to that point where I didn't want to do it. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, thinking about it energetically even, if that's what I'm feeling, like anxiety or whatever in my body, I don't want to share that with him.
He's getting that. It's you're bringing more of that to the table than you are
right. Okay, so let's think of it in an animalistic way. You know, when you think about the animals and the way that they're pumped with hormones and the way that they are, you know, taken out at the end, like that's not good for the meat, right? So like, and or whatever comes with the byproducts. So it's like, I think about it in that way. We are all animals in some way, shape, or form. Like, if I am producing the stress, this resentment, this stuff, that's what he's eating.
Stress hormone, the amount of adrenaline.
Right.
Yeah, totally. Wow.
And then it's like, okay, then you wonder why they're so antsy. They're so cranky. They're so this, that.
Yeah, because you can have nighttime breast milk has melatonin in it.
Yeah, right? And that's why they put them.
Yeah, so that you're totally, wow.
So when I started feeling like that, I was like, okay, no, I can't do this anymore. Also, like, I'm not in a place mentally, physically to be able to continue the way he was nursing. And I was working on weaning him off because I started thinking about it and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm unfortunately reaching the end of this. So it was only when he was taking a nap or like going to sleep and in the morning, and you know, he was eating good. Like, we were a vegetarian for about 2 years of his life too. So he was eating like rice, beans, tofu, avocados, things like that.
You started in vegetarian?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. It was really crazy because
what?
the people who gave him meat are the people who I told not to. And then it was very much like
I can throw hands for you.
Literally,
somebody fed your baby something you said?
Pepperoni. I was so pissed because I was just like, you know, I had a meat aversion when I was pregnant. And so like towards the end, and that's when I was a vegetarian for a while. I was just like, I can't think about it too much. Yeah. Like, and the way your body changes after pregnancy, the way just things like.
It's not even your body anymore.
No, it's not.
No, you're
like, I never had allergies before Josiah. I never had this before him. I say that they age you 5 years at least. Yeah. You know, your body, your joints, all of this stuff happens. Yeah. But the things that I wanted for Josiah were like, okay, yeah, he's going to be a vegetarian too. Like, we're going to try the more natural route. Like, I cloth diapered him. I did a lot of.
You did?
Yeah. So I didn't start off cloth diapering him. I think when I found my community and they were a little bit more crunchy /
I'm crunch. Yeah. And I thought about it.
Yeah.
I was like, but I got nervous and I panicked. And so
I literally just gave away my stash.
What?
Like last week. I held on to
it. I would have said bring it.
I know. Because I thought about it and I was like, you know what? And this goes even into me, you know, things that you do for your body that you're not willing to expose yourself to. Why would you be willing to expose your baby to? And like, yeah, I was using, I think, the Honest brand diapers for the longest because they are supposed to be a little bit more natural and easier on the baby. But then I was like, okay, well, he's getting rashes. He's doing this, you know? And I was like, okay, well, let's just cloth diaper. And a lot of people are like, ew, like,
no,
you have to wash
I think it's
it.
awesome.
The thing is like, those are the same people who are disgusted by their own things. Like,
Yeah.
I also free bleed. I use period underwear and things like that. And like, yes, it is a stigma you have to get over.
I'm cupping it right now.
Girl, I started with the cup. I started with
I'll
the
probably
Diva
end
cup.
up where you were at because yeah, I mean,
It's so much more comfortable. I use like just period boxers whenever I do it, but then I also don't wear underwear just genuinely
Whoa.
because I'm like, it does throw off your pH, right?
I believe
And so you think about the babies too.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he's a boy, but still it gets affected.
even more stuff, man.
Right.
I can't like boys scared me. Having a boy scared me because I was like, what is all this?
Girl, when I feel like we're bouncing all around, but
Sorry,
I love
I'm
it.
like, now we're talking about pH bounce, but go ahead.
But I love this because it's like, you know, I being a boy mom,
You said vegetarian, by the way. We were at pepperoni.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it all ties back.
Okay.
Because I was
Wait
doing
for
the
it.
little bit more natural things. And yeah, so unfortunately, somebody decided to take it upon themselves to feed my child meat when I was trying to be very natural with him, like cloth diaper, amber bead necklace, like
Nope.
all of those things, long hair, little baby boy, all the stuff. And then
You're a little hippie man.
yeah, really though. And I was like, I love this for him. I'm trying to do better by him and
Yeah.
for myself.
And then boom, Totino's pizza roll.
Bro,
You got to be kidding.
yeah, no. And then like being out and like finding out they're feeding him this, that, and the third. I'm like, bro, that's not your kid. That's my kid. And
Oh
I'm
my
asking
gosh, I'm
you
starting
not
to
to do
sweat.
I'm asking you not to do these things. And so you really turn into a different person. You're no longer somebody's sister, daughter, cousin. You are their mother. And that comes first.
Yes, ma'am.
And so after a long period of time, you have to like do what's best for them.
Yeah.
But Josiah obviously is healthy, great. And now we're not vegetarians anymore. And now I'm not as crunchy as I used to be, you wean off things here and there.
You
But
care a lot.
when they're babies.
When
Yeah,
they're
you try so
especially-
hard.
Well, hey, I wouldn't even look at it like I know eventually my kid's gonna be eating candy and like doing all the things, right?
Fast food here and there.
Totally, I know. Maybe not McDonald's.
Yeah.
Epstein files apparently.
Oh my!
said-
Listen, we can get into that too.
There'd be some like. Have you seen Soylent Green?
No.
They're eating people. Anyway,
Again, conspiracy
I
theories.
got so many conspiracies.
We were talking about this, and I was like,
It's not good.
I tell Josiah all the time. I'm
Yeah.
like, Josiah, aliens are real.
Oh, girl.
I said,
I don't even want to talk about the chemtrails.
I tell him all the time, listen, Josiah, if I ever get the opportunity to visit another universe, galaxy, I'm sorry, I love you, and I will come back for you, but I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, I would want them to
See
take
ya.
you with me.
Just full. What was it? Interstellar, where you're like,
Yes.
don't worry, I'll see you when you're 80.
Right. I'm like, but
I'll talk to you in Morse code.
the thing is, it's like, I'm like, okay, I want to teach him all of the things. And it's crazy. Like, that's what you get to do as a parent.
Yep.
You get to create a whole new world for them. But what I won't do as a parent, I will not create a mini me.
Yeah.
I want him to be a him or
love
whatever
that.
he wants to be.
Yep.
And my rules is you're going to tell me who you want to be, and I'm going to help you be the perfect, like the best version of that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, you need to do this because I didn't get to fulfill all of this for myself. Or no, these are the rules that you need to live by so that I love you fully and accept you.
There's no because I said so. There's it's
I was talking to Brave about this, and I was like, what did we say? That there are different generations. There's the parents who, when they birth you, they believe you owe them everything. And then there are the parents that birth you and believe they owe you everything. And
I owe my daughter everything. But it's real. And when you say that, like I know I can't even imagine the rage you felt with the pepperoni incident. But because
the pepperoni, the kissing,
I'm panicking right now. This is the first time ever that
she's okay.
I know she's okay.
She's good.
I mean, but I
know
the amount of times I've zoned out and had to reel myself back into what you're saying, because I'm thinking of like, what if someone dropped her on the head? Our lovely neighbor is literally in 50 feet away in another room watching our daughter, and this is the first time we've left our daughter alone with somebody else. So he's panicking, I'm panicking. I can see his face over there. He's getting redder. So we're just nervous. But
I can't remember the first time I left Josiah, but I remember so my son's father and I are no longer together. And when we were going through our separation, I was like trying to find a way that he couldn't take him, like have any time with him. And I know that sounds very selfish, you know, obviously.
No, but you're out of control.
Yes, because I was a stay-at-home mom and
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose that. I didn't want to lose any time with him. Like as a mom, you have like that crazy hormones in your brain, like you cannot be away from them.
No.
And you're freaking out. And that's not the case for every birthing person. But for me it was, and I didn't want to leave him. I didn't want him to be out of my sight. I was so scared something was going to happen to him. Like when people are like, oh yeah, I want to have a kid, I'm like, be prepared to never have a stress-free moment.
Yeah.
Like I am even now, he's 9 years old. I will wake up in the middle of the night panicking and I will go check on him, make sure he's breathing.
Me too. The amount of times I'm like
Literally, I'm like, okay.
I'm like, you're breathing. Okay.
Right. And then I'm like, oh my God, what if this? What if this? What if this? And he's just like, oh.
No, like, I don't know if have you ever had like, I don't know if I know that there's a difference between invasive and intrusive. Have you ever had intrusive thoughts where it's like, you walk down, like when I was walking down the stairs earlier and bringing her to you guys, in my brain for about a millisecond, I know this sounds crazy. I don't want anyone calling DIFUS on me, but I'm thinking like, what if I throw her down the stairs right now? What if I physically throw her?
Yes.
And then blood everywhere, and it's just like
and then massacre. You freak yourself out,
and then I'm like, you know what I mean?
And then you're like, I'm a terrible person.
like it's this weird. I don't know how to explain it, but it's this weird thing.
I don't know why. And then I'm like, we're driving in the car, and mind you, he's still in a booster seat, 9 years old, you know, and it's like people are like, oh, he could be in his. No, there is a weight and a height limit. You have to make sure they're in this. And oh my God, okay, we're bouncing around, but I love this because when my son's father and I first separated, and I didn't want him to be out of my sight or whatever, we were going back and forth every other day. Yeah. Changing. He would go with him, and then that wasn't realistic.
Yeah.
His dad didn't have a car seat. I had the car seat, so he'd have to come get the car seat, the baby, and this, that, and the third. Well, somehow, some way, my 2-year-old child ended up being without a car seat in the car driving somewhere. And I was like, what
that's illegal. Right?
That's illegal, and I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, I might hurt you.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Right. And I'm like, what? But then it's like, you know, even no shade to Brave or any dads out there, but like your relationship with the child will never be what the mother's relationship is. Nope. Because we literally grew them from nothing for 9 months. I went 10. He went to 42 weeks. Again.
You were 10 months pregnant.
He was between 9.
Damn,
they
girl.
were guessing between 9 pounds and 11 pounds. And they were trying to push a cesarean on me because they're like, he's going to be too big to come out. And I'm like, we're going to try. But like you grow that innate feeling with them. Like you don't want them to be out of your sight. Only you can take care of them. And then when you hurt them accidentally, Josiah fell out of the bed.
I feel like I heard it's a rite of passage. I will say I'm waiting to the moment.
To this day, no, you feel like the worst person ever.
I hear this every time.
My bed was higher than normal. Like I think that my bed was like this high, right? And I was co-sleeping with him all the time.
Okay.
And he did end up getting out of the bed. But like, you know, I was breastfeeding at night. So it was just not normal to just plop it over when you're just exhausted, have him nurse, fall back asleep. And then you're sleeping with one boob out and you're like this. And well, one day
roly-poly.
He rolled out of the bed, fell on the ground, but there was also this little like outlet box, and the cord was sticking up like this, and he hit the cord part of the outlet box right here. And it was right before picture day. And he looked like Megamind.
You were embarrassing me.
I felt so bad. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I fractured his skull. Oh my God, he's not okay. He can't go back to sleep. I have to make sure.
Oh my gosh. And you're thinking like you brain damaged your kid.
To this day, he still has a bump on his head.
Oh no.
And he's, yes. And I'm like, I need to actually get that x-rayed, because what if I did fracture your skull?
Oh
and
my
like
gosh.
It's like that. Like,
the
thankfully,
hypochondriac me could never.
Thankfully, he's fine. He's mentally, like, he's actually really smart, and he's always been ahead of his grade in all of the things. Everybody calls him a little grandpa with his glasses. He's my little teddy bear.
I need to see some pictures, some updated pictures.
I got you, girl.
Yeah.
But I felt like the worst person ever.
Don't be hard on yourself. It needs to happen. I mean, like,
it is a rite of passage.
Yeah. I also hear a lot that, I mean, we only have one kid, but it's like, once you have a couple of kids,
You're like,
these, I know.
Go throw them in the ground. They'll be fine. Roll over.
Well, my friends our friends who had kids, they were like the first one of our friends. I'm sure you remember your first friends to have babies, and you're like, whoa.
My first cousins, when they had kids at like 16 or stuff, I'm like,
yeah, you're in different planets.
Right.
16?
Yeah. Well, she had a baby young.
That's intense.
Yeah.
I'm 29 and I feel like I'm a
Wait,
child.
you're 29?
I'm turning 30 soon.
Oh, baby. I had Josiah at 23.
Oh my gosh, still
I was
so
a baby.
young. Oh my
I'm
God.
still a baby. I still don't feel like
Yeah.
an adult unless I'm like, I really think about it. I'm like, I'm somebody's mother.
Right?
I'm responsible
Who
for
let me
somebody's-
take this baby home to the hospital? I'm like, this is crazy.
But then you have to give yourself like a pat on the back because she's 9 months. She is gorgeous. She's so like
She is gorgeous.
happy.
I don't know how we did it, honestly. I think we have a lot of. We moved out to the sticks. We moved.
It's beautiful out here.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it. I mean, we moved from LA. We saw a lot of darkness in LA. You know,
Yeah.
the conspiracies ended up being
True.
true. So we saw a lot of that in LA, and nothing that like I was ever like got to witness firsthand. But
Right.
we started to feel like we were being surrounded by a lot of darkness. We started to see like a lot of signs that, hey, this is a little weird. The symbolism's a little weird. These people are always together, you know, these kind of like, you know, and the fires happened, which I also thought was a shit show. It was just like a nightmare out there. And I was like, I need to get her somewhere where there's green,
Peace,
Peace,
tranquility,
and,
like
yeah,
open air.
and I could still do music.
Right.
Yeah. So we're here in Nashville.
Listen, this is my first time here and I love
Yeah?
it already.
Oh,
yeah.
we only have a few hours. We got to show you around.
I know.
But
I
I'm
was
from New York. He's from freaking Phoenix. So we're like, we have to like, hey, we're from LA here. They're like, ugh.
right.
We
No,
we
I'm
don't know
Florida
anything.
through and through. And so coming out here, I'm like, I love it out here. Like
Yeah.
the town, I've been to Austin, Texas, and it kind of gives that vibe
Yeah?
in downtown. But it is definitely a little bit cleaner, but very eclectic. I love it. There's
Yeah.
something somewhere always.
There's a lot of young people.
Yeah, I didn't go to Broadway last night like I wanted to, but
You didn't
because
miss anything.
mommy was tired.
Also, there's like a big roofie culture over there.
Really?
Yeah, I worry about Charlie with that because I'm like, I know eventually she's gonna want to party with her friends and stuff. And go
I worry about
out.
Josiah all the time.
Oh.
I think it's crazy though that there is such a stigma between girls and boys and how you raise them, and boys shouldn't cry and this and no, I don't do toxic masculinity. I talk to Josiah about his feelings and all of that, but I am very hypervigilant about Josiah, his safety, his bodily autonomy, and
Yeah.
I just had this conversation with his dad yesterday because his dad and I have a great co-parenting relationship, and he's a really great dad. I'm
Yeah.
lucky to have that. And we
Shout
have
out to Josiah's dad.
Yes. Shout out to you, homie. But
Slay.
yeah, no, we grew up together, him and I. Like he
Cool.
was my high school sweetheart, 15 years old.
Aw.
I had no bits. My child, I will try my hardest for Josiah not to have a relationship until he's older. And
Yeah.
it's not like in a weird mommy way, like no girl's good enough. No, I am not going to be that boy mom.
No.
But because of
Guide him a little.
right. Yes. And like also I don't want you out here ruining some girls or guys life about like because you're not emotionally mature enough to
Yeah.
have a relationship. Now mind you, he already has a wife in 3rd grade. He's been engaged to her since
Stop.
last. So cute.
How do you even?
It's so cute. Like I thought about it too, and I'm like, you know, there's moms who are probably like, no girl's ever gonna be good enough. No, I'm like, oh my god, okay, you have to be nice to her. all
You're
these
like
things.
the future mother-in-law that's like, don't mess with her.
Exactly. Like I have this conversation a lot with a lot of my friends, and they're like, oh yeah, no girl's ever gonna be good enough for my son. No guy's ever gonna be. No, I'm like, stop being toxic.
You're like, oh,
Teach your
no,
child
honey.
how to be a good partner,
Yeah.
or just a good person
Yeah.
first. That's your main concern. And it was so cute. And so many of his teachers would give me feedback like, Josiah's so cute, you know, so and so, she broke her arm and he just wanted to carry her lunchbox and her books for her
Aw.
because he wanted to make sure she was
A
okay.
little
And
chivalrous. What?
all
Chivalrous
the
guy?
time. And I was telling Brave this. I was like, you know, kids are really, they're such a gift because you can now reparent yourself
Yeah.
and you can give
Get her
yourself,
a fresh start.
you can give yourself the love and the parenting you wish you had.
Yeah.
And so I teach Josiah, and coming back to like the safety, aspect of it, I freak out all the time
Yeah.
because he's not with me all the time. And so, and there have been a lot of like uncoverings about, abusive children and how prevalent that is in society and how normalized it's been, which is not normal. It's not okay. But I'm like, okay, I can't control everything in the world, but what can I control? I can control how Josiah understands like safety, understands that he has the power to say no.
Yeah.
Like, even if he doesn't want physical affection from me, he's allowed to tell me no.
Yeah.
I always ask him.
His own autonomy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because that's what I wanted from me. And I was telling Brave in the car, I was like, isn't it crazy how the older generation's like, oh, you need to go and give this person a hug and a kiss when you first see them. No, you don't.
Please don't kiss that weirdo.
Or the people who are like, oh, come sit on my lap and come. I'm like,
yeah.
Stop being weird.
Another conspiracy, but like Santa.
Weird.
I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this one, but like,
no, I'm here for it.
It's weird that we're like, now go get on that guy's lap.
The random man, the old man, and tell him what you want.
Yeah,
and are you a good girl?
Yeah,
good
not only is he going, are you naughty or nice, but he's like, you're like, sit on his lap and ask him for presents.
This should be your Christmas song.
Oh my God. I just ruined Christmas. I'm the Grinch that stole Christmas. Santa's magical. If you do, my husband and I talk about, we debate about how we're going to
Are you going to tell her that Santa's real or no?
I don't know.
I know. I've had this problem.
I definitely, okay, you know what I'm not fucking with? The Easter Bunny. Because we'll say Resurrection Day. Like, we're pretty spiritual in that sense. We're like, that's cool history. I mean, that's important that my daughter knows that. But it's like, the Easter Bunny is weird as fuck. Not only is it this like weird, I don't know if we can block it, like pedophilic like symbolism in the Easter Bunny.
Rabbits don't lay eggs.
Bunnies don't lay eggs. It's supposed to be a really important day. And we're sitting here like chasing magic, colorful rainbow eggs around that a bunny laid. And then if you do your research on that, there's some like weird, like Ishtar, the goddess of fertility, was dipping like children's blood, eggs in children's blood, and that was like as a sacrificial thing. And
is rooted in paganism, essentially. A lot of the holidays,
Sunday.
Yes.
Is the day of the sun.
Yes.
Like,
and a lot of the things are going, it goes off the equinox and things like that. And things have been redone. And I'm like, you know what? It's a lot. Like, what I'm doing right now is shaping this child's view of the world and how they're going to experience it. But at the end of the day, he's going to be able to have his own life and have his own things. And I actually, I welcome debate from Josiah.
Yeah.
He's 9 years old. And ever since he was a baby, people have always given me feedback. He's so good. He's so this. He's so that. Like, how do you do it?
Curious.
I treat him like a person, not a child, not a baby. Like a child in the sense of like, I give him grace.
Yeah.
Because I'm 32 years old. And at the time when I was 23 or whatever, between now and then, I didn't have my shit together.
You're like, I might still be a child.
I am still a child. I think it's crazy. And like my emotions aren't regulated. Yeah. So the thing that I do with Josiah is I always tell him, listen, mommy still has big emotions. It's okay. Like, but we need to work together, and it's okay to be mad. It's okay to do these things. But what it's not okay is to take it out on other people and to hurt yourself or to create bad energy in the world. You can sit there, have your moment, have your time, have your emotions. But what you need to do is reflect. Let's take deep breaths. Let's do all this. Does it happen all the time? No. But it's giving them that opportunity to be authentic in their feelings and their
understand what's happening.
Right. Because at our age, I still lose my shit.
Yeah.
I still have issues controlling my emotions.
What do you do at that point when you find a day where you're just overwhelmed and overstimulated?
Oh, I tell him.
Touched, and
I tell him
straight up. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be in the store sometimes, and he'll be like, "Oh, this," and there's a lot of people in the store and these things. And I talk to Josiah about my mental health. I tell him that I'm in therapy. I tell him that mommy takes medication. Like all of these different things. Like I am very transparent with Josiah to the extent that he can understand.
Yeah.
And you have to give kids more credit. They understand a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
And also, they can understand more than you understand, essentially. Like we have all of our own stigmas, all of our own hang-ups about things. Well, our kids don't have that. They have it because you give it to them.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
So I tell Josiah all the time, like, okay, mommy has therapy. What's therapy? Oh, mommy gets to talk to people about her big emotions and how to deal with things. And I give him grace because he doesn't have that other than me.
You're like,
and I
right
always
now
like,
I'm therapy for him.
right.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and I'm in therapy
Yeah.
and there's reasons.
well,
but
you're probably a great therapist at that
what
point.
I tell Josiah, it's like, you know, I always worry. I'm like, I'm going to fuck him up some way. Somehow, you know, like they're all going to have it. But the difference is that I'm going to be willing to go to therapy whenever he wants to. I'm going to be willing to accept the fact that I did this, I did that. And I see the things that I transfer to him. And I believe in like generational traumas and things like that I passed on to him. Like, for instance, I have a lot of problem with shame as a person. Yeah. I don't like feeling like I've messed up. I've upset you or to an extent, like if you matter to me, like for example, me and my fiance Diana, anytime like she gives me any type of feedback, and it's like in a negative form or like I've done something wrong, I do kind of shut down. I do get in a defensive way, and I'm like, I don't like that.
Criticism makes you feel like you've done so much more hurt maybe than you have. Yeah, like you feel like it might be a personal attack.
Yes. And I get so defensive and then that makes me show up in a negative way. And I realized like I had a lot of problem with authority. I had growing up, and I had a lot of the times when I would get in trouble with my parents, you weren't allowed to talk back, explain yourself. It was like they're yelling at you and you just have to sit there and take it. Whereas with Josiah, I try my best not to yell at him. I had a lot of physical discipline growing up. And I will say when Josiah was younger, there were times where I would spank him on the butt. I don't do that anymore because I do believe in bodily autonomy and nobody should ever disrespect that. And one of the biggest things is I apologize. But there are times where it's just like, damn, I lost my cool. Like I shouldn't have done that to you. Like nobody has the right to do that to you and disrespect you in that way.
It's interesting. Like there's this whole generation before us and their generation before them and their generation before them where it's like there's a lot pre-research. Yeah. You know, and now it's like we sit here in 2026, like there's a lot of things we need to reverse, and even in ourselves, right? Like I find the way I talk to my husband, I'm like, we were telling you earlier, it's like if I yell, all of a sudden Charlie's yelling. Yeah. You know?
Josiah did the same thing with his dad and I. Whenever we were arguing, he would start, like, if we're arguing, Josiah would go, too, as a baby.
Yeah, and it's like they're clocking it.
And Josiah took his first steps when his dad and I were arguing, trying to get the attention back on him and stopping the energy that was going. And he
felt it so hard that he was like, I'm getting up.
Right. And I was like, oh my God. And that broke my heart because I was like, oh my God.
What did we do? And we're missing this.
He shouldn't. I made the decision to finally like go through with a divorce with my son's father because one of our arguments, I then like went into my son's bathroom and I just fell on the floor and I was just crying, and Josiah crawled on top of me and started wiping my tears. Baby. And he was not even 2 years old at that point.
Okay, but you're like, okay, he's seeing this.
I was like, I will not be the mother whose child has to take care of them emotionally. I will not do that.
Parentified kids are a very real thing.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what?
Especially in between partners.
Mm-hmm. I saw that a lot growing up. Like I have very emotionally dysregulated parents, whether it's they just don't know how to express their emotions properly, right? And like I give them grace because if I had 2 kids at the age of 21 and 22, oh my God, I don't even know. So I give them grace. I'm like, you guys did the best you could, but that doesn't excuse.
We're starting now, and it's like we still feel
that doesn't excuse your behavior after the fact. No. Like now, if I'm coming to you and I'm telling you, hey, this is how you hurt me. This is how what you did affected me, and I'm a terrible mother. I'm a terrible father. I never did that. That's where the difference is. And as a mom, I'm never gonna be that person for Josiah. You can give me your feedback. And he does. He can correct me too. Yeah. He'll correct me even now. And I'm not like, oh, you're a child. I'm big, you're small. I'm right, you're wrong. Matilda. I'm not going to be like that. Like Josiah will tell me, Mommy, when you said this really hurt my feelings. Oh. And I'll be like, Josiah, I understand, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but let's reflect. Let's
talk about what went down.
What happened? Exactly. You know you're not supposed to do this, right? Yeah. Okay, so you did it, right? Yeah. So what do you think's supposed to happen now? And I'm like, there has to be consequences for actions.
Yeah.
But you made the choice. Okay. Now you know what to expect, right? Yeah. And so he is an angel baby. Don't get me wrong. Diana always tells me like I baby him. And I do. I'm not going to say I don't, because he is my baby, you know?
There's always got to be one person that's like putting you in check. That you're
yeah.
like,
and I love the fact that she does, because she does help me. Yes. And we are a little different. She's an only child. I had an older brother growing up, and then I had 2 younger siblings after the fact.
Cool.
And so, and I raised a lot of my cousins and all of this. And so I had a better like understanding of siblings, sharing, like little different things. But Josiah is an only child, and that first child will get you thinking that you could have another one.
Yeah. The trick child.
Yes.
Josiah is an angel baby. You want about 30 of them.
Right. But it's always said that if your kid has, if your first one is an angel, your second one's going to be your revenge, right? Like, it's going to be terrible.
What? I hear him. I see my.
She's already giving me the look.
We're going to go upstairs right now.
All right, I'll be right back.
It's been 9
just
9
a little
months.
11 a.m. whiskey, just for Daddy Claus.
Yeah, buddy.
No, yeah, I do definitely want more kids, but I think about I need to be I need to feel like myself again.
Yes,
but
you cannot just be a mom, Jax. You really need to be yourself. You need to be a partner.
I'm feeling that back to what you're like a million years ago, because we're both severe ADHD. But I was thinking about like when you were talking about being overstimulated and just touched throughout the day, and I'm like, even in my marriage, I'm like, that's
another reason why his dad and I didn't work out, because his dad was looking for that affection, that connection.
I gave it all away.
I'm like, if you touch me right now, I might scream.
Yeah,
actually. Yeah. And he would try, and I'm like, I felt so guilty, and then I was being selfish.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I can't. I don't want to. And then obviously there were other things at play there, like being gay.
Yeah.
But
the small detail that's just like, I felt super overstimulated. It was just not myself, and also didn't like guys.
Yeah, that's sorry. But being touched out, being somebody's literally food bank and emotional support and all of that, and not taking care of yourself was a big deal. And so being touched out is a real thing, and that's what caused me to kind of give up breastfeeding. And it sucks.
I love that you say give up breastfeeding, but I think can you Google us over there, Mr.?
I think what
is the percentage of people that go that long?
No, I think the normal percentage is like, I think 6 months.
And even then, I think it's like 30 or 30% of women or something. Maybe
not even right.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, some people just can't breastfeed.
No, it's a whole thing. Like there's women that there's women that even get cancer while they're pregnant. Like I was just on.
But apparently, there was an old wives' tale, and I don't know if it's a factual now, but that you're not supposed, like, breastfeeding was supposed to help you not get breast cancer.
Oh my gosh, I did read that. Like that was like it helped.
And that's not the case always.
Yeah. But I love this conversation too about like because I only wrote one song since I've had Charlie.
Yeah.
We're maternity leave.
You're expected to be everything and everyone, and it's like you have to stay at home with your baby. But then why aren't you contributing to society? But how dare you leave your child for this long? Like the dad can't be a part of this at all. Right. Like it's all on the mom, and it's so crazy that maternity leave is there's not a lot of paternity leave, and it's
like none. Oh my gosh.
However, I will say there are some companies that do offer it that I'm like, wow, that is very rare,
very progressive.
Very progressive.
I have not. Yeah. Also, like the U.S. I'm realizing is like totally bizarre about the whole thing, and they've been bizarre for years. And
that's not even.
And even like you could even like go down this weird rabbit hole of like products that are capitalizing off of short maternity leave, like sleep training, there's like certain things that are like, we're literally like a construct for American women to have to adapt to a very short, cruel maternity leave. And I was talking to my aunt the other day, and she was like, yeah, when I went back to work, at like 6 weeks, I was like, no, you meant 6 months. And she was like, no, like 6 weeks. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That
6
is
weeks? Like,
crazy.
you're like still attached. So, what is it called again when the umbilical cord's like still attached?
Yeah,
What is that?
no.
A lotus birth?
I don't.
I'm like,
yeah.
you can like literally be attached to the umbilical cord still. Like, I'm like, this is so gross. Every other country in the planet gives a year of maternity leave, and it's just so not.
I think
not
every
built for
other
the
country
mother.
actually, you know, they understand the like necessity of having mom stay with the baby.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was Japan or China where after you have a baby, you go into this like this time where you have a night nurse. It's like a hotel room and you have a night nurse and you have like they care for you and they take the baby and they'll take care of them, but it's like it's focusing on the mom getting back to like wholeness and health.
Yeah.
And you still have the baby with you, but like the husband's not there all the time.
No.
He's there for a little bit, but it's the mom's getting multiple
Bathed
meals
and
fed,
fed and,
yes,
and massaged.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
because you only did this tiny thing that was like.
How was your birthing process?
Oh, traumatic. It was like
I tell everybody who's having a baby, I'm like, you have this birthing plan, right?
yeah,
Throw that shit out the window.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's not like it's great to have a plan, but it's not gonna end up that way a lot of the times. And I had a client who she was giving birth and I was, you know, we're talking and she was telling me about her birthing plan. I was like, that's great.
You're like, nice.
Just
but you don't want to discourage them because you don't want to be like the just wait. I hate the just wait.
I know. I wasn't discouraging. I was like, just know that it may not go that plan. And
I had that woman too.
I wanted to be the person who's like, I hope it goes that way for you. I really do.
But no judgment if it doesn't.
But no judgment if it doesn't. And also be prepared to like understand, like for me and for my birthing, it was like, I wanted to do everything as naturally as possible. But if he's ever at risk, take him out by whatever means necessary.
Yep.
Like save him, take care of him, make sure he's okay. But like we all get so hung up, like let's make sure the birth bag is ready.
Yeah.
Let's make sure the birthing plan is ready. And it's like these kids do not care what you have in store. Like they don't care about timing or whatever. It's on their time. Mm-hmm. So tell me what happened with you. Because
now you're basically describing my birth, but it was like, I mean, I had planned on going all natural. I did a 36-hour all natural labor. In a tornado warning, so like there was like sirens outside apparently, but we didn't know it. She was like stormborn, but
I love that.
But we had, you know,
Daenerys Stormborn.
Daenerys Stormborn, the mother of dragons.
Ooh.
The mother of dragons did
she did
not
care.
thrive during what?
And an ice storm.
Yeah.
No, we went from the LA fires to tornadoes.
So many natural disasters.
It's ice. Yeah, she's like Avatar.
I love this.
Yeah, but no, it was a gnarly, and it's like you said, like I know that my OB was like the only person, her and like another woman who makes. You ever see those birthing gowns they're like really cute? Her name's Caitlin. Yeah, Leela Birthing. Shout out to Leela. She makes these adorable. We took a class.
I love that.
With this woman who owns a small business, and she makes gowns to not feel
hideous.
Like shit. Yeah, like you're literally in a
like just like
Meanwhile, I'm just like ripping clothes off me, throwing up. I'm like just trying not to poop on my husband.
Did you?
No, actually. But I did say, they were like, I'm in the bath at one point. So basically they let us check into a natural birthing suite.
Oh, okay. Wait, did you have it at a hospital?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
And I waited. They say wait till your contractions are 5 minutes apart. I waited till they were 3. Like I was like ready, and he's, you know, every husband's like, well, I wanted to live for a baby in the car. Like I only watched a few YouTubes. Like so he's thinking I'm gonna give birth in the car. Meanwhile,
absolutely,
you know, you get there and they're like, oh, you're one.
You gotta wait.
Go
back home. Come back later.
That was our worst nightmare. Is like go back home. But so apparently, my water never broke. So because of that, it was like this weird water balloon effect where I would dilate and then undilate. So they'd be like, oh my gosh, you're 6 centimeters. Psych, you're 1.
Oh
so
my
just
God.
like for hours, it was like full birth level pain. And I didn't sleep because I went a whole day. We had a fall. You know, I don't know if you had a similar experience, but were you feeling like Braxton Hicks too real? contractions?
I had to get induced.
Oh, you got induced. Okay.
Right.
That sounds painful.
Oh,
I kind of wish I might, like, I don't know to this day, because I wanted that all natural experience, but I'm trying to, like, what? You want to say something?
No, get close to the mic.
Okay. Sorry. I feel like I'm yapping real loud. Sorry, it's our
Not
first
enough.
time, ladies and gentlemen.
Not enough. Am I okay?
You're great.
Fuck. Wow.
Jax is like
sorry.
like
Sorry.
this.
Okay.
Just point
Do I
it
look
directly
cute?
at your mouth. Yeah.
That's all that matters. Do I look cute?
Low into your mouth like that.
Okay. Eat the mic like I normally do.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I've always been told not to eat the mic, but now here we are.
Now we need to.
I will tell you also, my baby like drooled and ate that mic yesterday.
That's
and
okay.
I totally forgot. Okay,
Charlie's so cute.
Dope.
I'll take it.
She ended up being really cute because although she was stuck in the birth canal for a while, we did a 36-hour labor. We basically realized, I didn't realize what was happening because I'd never had a baby before, but I back labored her the whole time. So we got there and her heart was not stable the whole time.
Were you freaking out?
Freaking out just from the beginning.
Yeah.
But also, you know, I was trying to get in that mindset because you're on the crunchy side of everything where they're like, don't stress about what the hospital says. Like, they have their way. They have ways of making money. They have, even if it's not that, it's protocol, and they are preventing lawsuits and this and that. But, you know, your body was made for this. And there's a lot of truth to that. So, like, I was this close from a home birth and free birthing, whatever.
Yeah.
I got too nervous. We lived too far from a hospital. So
yeah,
we're like, okay, cool. We get in there. They're like, we don't trust her heart, so we're going to put a heart monitor on that. So then we're at this point, what, like 16 hours deep?
Yeah, and stuck in triage.
Stuck in,
like they wouldn't admit her.
Eventually
until
get
she was
checked
like 5
in.
centimeters.
I'm basically back laboring, which for those who don't know, I didn't know anything about back labor going into this. I didn't know that was a thing, but she was flipped sunny side up.
Yeah.
So a really impossible thing. We basically had one of these births where if it were a natural birth in the olden days and whatever, I may not have made that birth or her, you know? Once it got to the point where I was dilating so far in reverse and I was so inflamed after 36 hours, they were like, hey, let's give you an epidural and let you take a nap.
Yeah. That'll do it.
And the second they gave me the epidural, her heart stopped.
Oh my God.
Well, her heart got down to like, it was like 3 or 4 BPM. My OB's like, hello. Oh no. All of a sudden, it's like 10 doctors pile into the room. They're like handing me, they're like emergency, like then they're suiting him up and his surgical, whatever.
Oh
they're like C-section. We never even prepared for an emergency.
Right.
It never even crossed my mind. I was so determined to do this natural birth. And then, it was just like.
So you ended up having
an emergency C, and
the trauma that comes from that for you alone.
Yeah, he just actually showed me for the first time 2 days ago a video of it.
Oh my God!
And he was like sneaking the
How
camera.
did you feel, Brave, while she was going through all this?
We cried.
It was I don't know. I don't panic usually.
Yeah.
But standing in that room and seeing all the like it happened. They gave her the epidural and then her blood pressure dropped, which I guess is normal.
Yeah.
But so then they gave her medication to boost it back up, and when they gave her that medication, the baby's heart like all but flatlined.
Yeah.
And then like all these doctors ran in, and I'm like standing there in the background next to a nurse being like, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, like no one's
They're like flipping her on her side and like doing all this stuff. And after about 30 seconds, the baby's heart started getting good. I'm crying.
I'm crying
thinking
too.
about it. But
Please show that.
eventually the doctor came in and was like, hey, I have something right now, but if you want to do, I know you want to do natural, we could test it. We don't know if it's going to work, but
I won't induce you. She was like,
I highly
can't
suggest a
trust your
C-section. I'll let you talk for a second. We said a prayer and like kind of talk for 2 minutes about it. And we were like, yeah, let's do it.
I looked at him. I was like, hey, you remember that?
And then they separated us for like 15 minutes.
I was like,
they had to get her
where's my
into pre-surgery.
Oh
And then,
God.
so she was getting ready for surgery, and then they put me in scrubs head to toe. And we're like, take your camera, let's go. And I just sat in that hallway for like 10 minutes alone.
Thinking I was like bleeding out.
It was like pretty traumatic.
Yeah, it was.
And then they pulled her out and they handed her to me. And then I came up and like put her next to Jax's face. And
I didn't know about how a C-section works. So they have this plastic
that
above
you can't see it.
And yeah, you can't see it, but even you can't
feel it.
touch. So I was ready for skin to skin and for the baby to like crawl up to
Yeah.
your boob and magically breastfeed. And
Which we did 15 minutes later.
I was
Sure,
gonna
but
say,
I
I'll
don't
tell you
remember
about
it.
mine. Sure.
Yeah, wait. So, but tell me about yours, because
Well, first, let me, guys, that there is.
All while the nurse came up to me and was like, just so you know, there's like a sirens going on for a tornado right now. She was born during a tornado warning. Like, that's
love
a good sign.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
she's gonna. I can't.
I'm
That
like, do you have a
must
good
been-
backup generator at the hospital? Like,
Like,
you're
what
like,
do you?
"Are we
What do
gonna
you
have to do this
need?"
together? I'll get
Right.
in here.
Let's go old school.
Well, he's
I got a buck knife. Let's go.
Brave Araya.
Huh?
You can't, girl. When we did our doula class type of thing, he was determined. He was like, I watched 10 YouTube videos. I
this.
could deliver the baby.
Right.
And we watched that one show. I don't know if you saw it. It was like a Netflix show, where like the whole world ended. And there's like a million of them, but where he had to. It was the dude from Hunger Games, like Kato from Hunger Games. Alexander. What is his name?
I don't know.
The blonde kid, Kato. So he delivers a baby in the
You
apocalypse,
were like, I could do
and
it.
he reaches this like whole hand in there and like flips the baby and all these things. And he's on YouTube. He watches that scene. It's like, yeah,
I got this.
that looked like it was
Easy.
nothing. Yeah. All of a sudden we do one class and she lubes a fake baby up in the class, and it goes out like a fake vagina, like to show how to catch the baby.
So
kind of.
you did do doula classes.
We did like a
I was the doula.
yeah.
Ah.
So he took yeah. So he was catching the baby, and
I
he goes,
love that.
"Whoa, that's crazy. I mean, it's not going to be that slippery, right?" And she goes,
Actually worse, probably.
"It's probably a little more slippery than
And
that."
then there's
yeah.
going to be blood and all of this. What
The
is it?
blood didn't bother
mucus?
me. The slippage. The
Yeah,
slippery,
there.
that,
What is
that
it
was
called?
What freaked me out.
Oh man, like
the
the white
afterbirth. They're the
Oh, they don't even tell you about the afterbirth. You actually give birth twice for one baby.
your placenta comes out.
Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
A double.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry you guys had to go through that. A lot of people don't realize how traumatic that is, and that
Yeah.
gets stored into the body, not only for mom but dad too. Like you weren't expecting that, and like
No.
you're
I
worried
mean,
about,
as a guy, it's just like,
but you're
sit here,
worried
like,
about
fixing
between your wife
problems.
and your child.
yeah, and you're fixing problems all the time. Like as a guy, to feel that helpless and
Yeah.
like, not able to help in any way.
You can't save either one at this point, and then it's like you have to think. I'm sure your mind went to the worst.
Well, we said it. When we were praying together, we were like, I was like, "Hey, baby, I know it's not what you want to talk about, but like,
If it comes down to it,
save that baby. Like,
Yeah.
fight for my baby." Like,
that is the
you
hardest
know? And
thing
it's
that
like,
as a partner.
you're getting split in half. Like,
Yeah.
you see that House of
How did
the
you
Dragon
feel about
episode?
that, Brave? Like it having to choose between the both of them.
It's an impossible decision. You know,
Yeah.
like that's just something that like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then some people
I'm
would
glad it
probably
didn't
be like,
happen.
yeah, some people are probably like, I'm going to save my partner because we can make more babies. And like, I would never forgive you.
I said those words to him.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't forget it, because I'm like, you gotta honor me.
Yeah. It's about me. It's my
Yeah,
body. It's my autonomy.
choice. Like, you
Save
gotta
the
honor me.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. And then like so many people don't realize like, people think sometimes C-sections are so much easier. And in a sense, maybe like recovery wise, but not necessarily. But like, especially when you're not planning for it, C-sections are so intrusive. You're getting cut open.
Yeah.
Like
He snuck a little video.
yeah,
think
it's
that's illegal,
it's not
but-
a natural part of your body to do these things. And then like afterwards, the C-section scars are so sensitive.
Oh,
like
yeah.
even now, how are you feeling with your C-section scars?
I feel like I'm not my own body.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it still sensitive?
I still don't even feel it, to be honest with you. It's still numb down there, and I like
Well, that's how my mastectomy scars are. But I also
weird tingling stuff.
Yeah.
And shooting pains.
I
and
own a
whatever.
beauty studio, so I do a lot of waxing, like
Oh.
Brazilians and stuff like that. And
Girl.
some clients are sensitive to their C-section scars.
Oh.
Where they can't, like, sometimes like there's hair that grows up there and they're like, please don't go near that because
Yeah.
it's super sensitive. Like
Ooh.
it doesn't feel good. I can't have it touched or other. And then some people are like, yeah, no, I don't feel anything.
I wonder if I would. I think I'm still too close to know to the birth, but I think in a few every month I feel like it gets a little more sensitive.
Better. Yeah. Oh,
But
man.
I've never done a Brazilian.
Really?
But I want to. It's like I've always
I'm
been like
like-
a girlie that shaves.
Did you bring your kit?
Listen.
All right, you know what? This is a mother's only. You have clocked enough hours in here.
I love it. No, but it's like,
I need to come to your studio.
girl. I got you.
What's it called?
Blackout Studio. It's
Whoa.
in Tampa, Florida.
And
yeah.
hopefully the lights are like totally blacked out.
It's
you
so
don't wanna...
chill in there. I've created a space, like a safe space for sure. But
Sick.
like I've had a lot of moms, and it's like a lot of women too. I like to empower people to feel good in their bodies, no matter what it is that I do. Like mom, influencer, business owner. And just making you understand, like, we as a society have been made to feel like we have to look a certain way. Yeah. We have to act a certain way. It's like, no, there's no rules to life. Like, stop trying to live for other people. Live for yourself and what makes you feel good. And so, like, I'm glad, like, my cousin had a C-section. I've been around a lot of different birthing plans and a lot of different birthing stories. And for my birthing story, a lot of people say that with your first baby, it doesn't go as planned. They go a little bit longer. They like to do their own thing. Yeah. And Josiah did go 42 weeks. And so
it's so crazy. Were you stressed about the like meconium thing?
Yeah, I was like, funny fact. So he so he went 42 weeks, and like when we were going to the OB appointment, and they were, when they guess like how big they're going to be, when they deliver, he was ranging between 9 pounds and 11 pounds. Oh my gosh. And so they were like trying to, I don't know if it was like a fear tactic or what, or just trying to get me prepared, but they were like, yeah, he might be too big to go through the birthing canal. So we might have to do a C-section. And you're like, shut up. I was like, no, I was so against doing a C-section. I was like, I just want to try natural, and I was planning on not doing
gaslight you too a little.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing is like, okay, we can get into the US way of like, oh, the medical and how like they want to make money and all of this, that, and the third. Yeah. And there is truth to that, honestly. But because you have to think about it, surgery is going to be more money than just delivering naturally and, drugs and whatnot.
The placenta itself was like $50,000.
Bro, I wasn't crunchy at birth. I will say that. I was crunchy once I like was a stay-at-home mom, and I was like 6 months.
Oh, at birth you were just like healthy delivery.
Healthy. I wanted to do a home birth, but I didn't know enough about it. Same. I didn't meet my tribe or my community, my village, a little bit after Josiah's birth. Cool. And when I wanted to do like a water birth, essentially. Yeah. And I went with a hospital and a practice that they actually had like a bathtub in the place. And I was like, oh, cool. So I can do it. No.
I know. They were like, you have to get out of the bathtub.
I'm like, what do you mean? Like I wanted to, like, if you're dilating, you're not allowed to be in the bathtub and all of this stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know what I didn't know. Yeah. And I wish I knew what I knew now, but it is what it is. Yeah. So I went 42 weeks, and they were like, we legally can't let you go any longer. I was like, okay.
What do you mean? What are you going to tie me down or something?
They were like, no, like for the health of the baby, he's getting too big. Like he's not going to be able to do this. Yeah? Like you may need to do a C-section. Would you be open to it? I'm like, no, but at the end of the day, if it comes down to his safety, take him out by whatever means necessary. So I went in on a Wednesday, and I had to be induced. They put Pitocin behind my uterus or whatever it was, my cervix, to start getting the contractions going because I didn't have any contractions.
Was your like sort of birth plan like
I didn't have a birth plan.
No plan.
Well, my birth plan was I didn't want to do an epidural. I didn't want to do C-section. I was trying to do it naturally.
Just natural. Okay.
Yeah, there's no gold star for doing it naturally.
No, but it's just like one of those things that if you want to experience,
right? Like I think that for me personally, I wanted to be like that badass mom who was just like, yeah, I want to deliver the baby myself. I want to go down and pull him out, and
it'll be me in a river with
literally
a tribe of women playing
the drums and candles and all this stuff, like very just innate feeling, but.
Someone has like this sage.
Yes. And like they're coming into this world like knowing the women's power, but it did not go like that.
No. Meanwhile, they're like, all right.
Yep. Spread up.
Somebody pump the Pitocin.
I had to get Pitocin twice. And so I had a relationship with the one doctor. So I was in a practice where there was like multiple doctors and a midwife, and you didn't know who you were going to get. Yeah. But I was seeing this one doctor that I had built up a relationship with. And I was like, oh, I feel comfortable with you delivering it. I don't really feel comfortable with this other doctor delivering, but the midwife is cool too.
Was it a guy or a girl?
It was 2 guys and a girl.
Okay.
And so I was good with one of the guys, but the other guy, he was a little off. And then like the midwife I was good with too. So when I got in, the midwife was on duty, And she had put my Pitocin in, and she had ripped my water. And I go like
What
this.
do you mean?
Because
you ripped your water.
Because my water didn't break naturally. So they had to go in with a hook and literally.
They did that to me too. But with my permission.
Yeah, they did. Like everything was with my permission, but like
cool.
I
wasn't like an accidental.
Yeah, no, they did that, and I thought they did it right, and I was like, oh, these contractions are nothing. I don't know what anybody worries about. Like I can do this, and then it changes shifts. The midwife goes, and the one doctor that I wasn't really comfortable with had come on shift.
Oh no.
And it was like Thursday, I think, and they were like, oh, how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm great. I'm okay. Like
kind of mild period
right. Like I'm okay. Right. And they were like, okay, well, you're still not dilating past, I think, 4 centimeters. So let's take a look. Yeah. Whoa. And I was like, since I got in on Wednesday.
And that's like a lot.
Yeah.
To me.
But not enough.
Not enough. No.
Not enough.
That's a long time. Yeah.
So he went in and he looked. He's like, oh, this is why your water's not all the way broken. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
He goes in there and you have that, what everybody tells you is a rush of just that warmth of water.
You just like feel like you pee yourself.
Well, you don't have that relief of pee, but it just feels like warmth along your legs. And you're just like, oh, okay, that was a lot of water. And I thought I had been contracting, you know, since the day before.
Nope.
Those contractions afterwards, I was praying to God to die. I'm not even going to lie. Like I was
just
in
take me.
so much pain. I felt like I was being ripped apart.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, oh my God,
especially
what is
if you
happening?
Think that you were.
And I still hadn't gotten an epidural at this point. And I was like, it was so bad. It was so bad. And I was literally exorcism style, like my body off the bed, holding on to things. And they were like, okay, you can stand up. You can do all these things until a certain point. And then it's not natural to have a baby on your back.
Oh, girl, I got a whole other theory about that too. Do you hear about speaking of your doctor that you're like, your mid husband, we'll call him instead of a midwife.
Oh God.
Got a mid doctor. There's this like, apparently that was the natural way in medicine was like kind of in doggy, like, or squatting.
Yeah.
In medicine, that was like the natural way.
Yeah.
And then some creep in, fact check me, but there's a French doctor that was like turned on by it. And so instead of penalizing that guy, they just made women
they adapted it
get on their backs, and then they realized, okay, wait, this might but okay, I don't want fact check me because I feel like I could just be spewing bullshit, but
no, but honestly, like, so I've
what
seen
do I type in for that?
the natural birthing position
all of a sudden like he's like on a watch list or something.
Oh God. But like I thought that I was gonna be able to even at least squat, because that's the more natural, like, okay, you have to think about it when you're having a bowel movement, right? Like, what is the natural way of doing it? It's sitting down and like bearing down, your legs are up and all those things. And when you're birthing, it's essentially having a very terrible constipated poop. Yeah. Like, and so my birthing process was like, okay, I finally gave up, and I was like, I can't deal with this pain anymore. Like, I don't know. I was this close to doing a C-section because I had gone 12 hours with my placenta being, or not my placenta, the water being erupted, and so the baby was being more exposed to things,
to new disease and
and so they were like, Lily, we can't let you go past the 12 hours.
All right, I got it.
What?
In the 17th century, Francois Maressou or something like that. Yeah, it's the shift happened from the doggy style or whatever to the back. Mostly they claim, or Google claims, because it was driven by medical convenience, not psychological or physiological benefit.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, medical. I mean, I guess because that way you can get to the baby, but no, it's not natural for the baby.
These doctors are badass.
They're still covering for him.
Yeah,
they're covering for Francois for sure.
Literally.
That's my conspiracy. The chemtrails
and the unnatural
weird Easter eggs, and then also Francois.
The ice wall.
Francois did the ice wall in 9/11. Francois did 9/11. Sorry, my husband's like, stop talking about 9/11. Okay, so back to, you hit the point where you were C-section, epidural, what do I do?
Yeah, so I was like, okay, again, my whole plan was whatever to make sure he's healthy, right? Okay. And I wasn't relaxing my body enough because contractions, especially contractions that have been made by Pitocin, are a lot worse than just natural contractions. Yeah,
like worse.
I was literally praying for death. And so when they were like, okay, well, if you go any longer, we're gonna need to do a C-section. And I was like, okay, well, let me do the epidural.
Yeah.
Well, with an epidural, you're not allowed to move. Right. Yeah. And so I'm mid contraction. They were like, okay, let's stick this big needle in your back and you can't move. So hold this pillow and stay still.
And they like hold you down.
Yeah.
Too.
And I'm like,
so
my God. And I was so afraid to get an epidural because I had a sister-in-law at the time that had a terrible like effect after epidural. And she like had migraines and bad nerve damage. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't want that to be me.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever, to have the baby healthy, to get him out. Once they put that epidural, I was like, shit, what is this on the street? Like, this is amazing. I took an amazing nap.
Do you even remember the feeling of the needle?
Oh, no.
Me neither.
No, I just remember the release of just like, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I took a nap and then I woke up at 9 centimeters dilated and we were ready to do this thing. Yes. And so finally we were able to.
How long did you nap?
I think like 3 hours.
Wow. See, this was what was supposed to happen. That sounds amazing.
I hadn't eaten since that Wednesday. It was now Friday and I was sleep deprived, pushing through all of this. And so finally on that Friday, I wake up and I'm like, okay, you're 9 centimeters dilated. Let's get this pushing started. I had to play tug of war with my nurse. Woo. Literally, she got a blanket and she's like, okay, let's start pushing. I was that crazy mom who decided to have a mirror in front of her while she was pushing.
That's awesome though.
I wanted to see. No, it helped, and it also made me think like, I'm not going to be able to do this. Oh my God.
Was it like a tearing thing, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, no, I tore really bad. I don't remember what degree I tore, but
literally.
I literally almost tore all the way. But when I saw it, like the mirror was in front of me, and every time she would pull against me and I'd have to push, mind you, my cousin had to step in because I thought I had just finished bodybuilding before I got pregnant. So I had a lot of muscle on me too. And I was able to pull the nurse too much.
Yeah. You were hurting
people. Yeah, my cousin stepped in and she was like, okay, let me do this. And she was literally pulling against me and I was like pulling against her, and I would see Josiah's head crown and I would see it and I'm like, there's no way.
And like,
there's in complete disbelief. I was like, there is no way he's coming out of there. Like, I genuinely did not. I was like, I don't know how people do this, but it's not going to happen.
Though.
I saw his head coming out and it was like the very tip of his head. And I'm like, oh my God, there is no way that's going to happen. And so finally he was crowning, meaning like he had gotten to the area where it was like, okay, we're
the ring of fire.
Yeah. Literally the feeling of it.
The ring of fire.
And they're like, okay, don't push anymore. Your doctor has to come in. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Where is he?
Exactly. I'm like, I can't stop. I can't stop pushing.
You're like, get his ass.
Literally. And he's like coming in, putting the gloves on. And he's like, okay, how are you guys doing? I'm like,
at the pace of a man. That's just like.
And it was a teaching hospital too.
Oh, so did you agree to have kids in there?
I didn't know what I was agreeing to. I just knew I wanted this baby out of me. And so like you have this whole line of people behind the doctor watching you
it's
give
like
birth.
A fever dream.
And then my father-in-law started walking in with my feet in stirrups. I was like, get out of here.
And I was like, your father-in-law was like, whoa.
Right. And I was just like, oh my God. So finally,
oh God,
I push. Josiah comes out, thankfully, and they put him on me.
Aww.
And I have Josiah on me and we're skin to skin. I'm like, oh my God, it is crazy. And then he's like, all right, time for the second birth. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
There's another one in there?
You were like, twins?
What? And they're like, no, but they don't tell you the second birth is your placenta.
Yeah.
And you have to birth it. And so I have this doctor pushing on my stomach.
Oh, what
and
is
like,
that where they're like, full
literally like, and I'm like, oh my God, what's happening down there?
Like,
and
we just want to make this a little more painful than it was.
They deliver the placenta. You have to actually deliver your placenta. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? Now, at the same time, Josiah's on my chest. He's just like laying there with me. And then all of a sudden, there's this warmth. He pooped on me right away.
Immediate poop.
Immediate.
Which kind of means like he was holding it.
Josiah thinks it's so funny to this day.
that you pooped on your mom?
Yes.
Josiah?
He's like, Mommy, you remember when I was a baby and I pooped on you? And I'm like, yeah, I was there.
Make sure you have to say that at his wedding.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
I
just want to start by saying
everything. It was real from the beginning. Right when you came out, you shit on me and you shit on everything. It's okay. Gosh. But it was so great. And like, we did have that nursing moment. I don't think anything came out right away. Like, I don't think my milk came in until like the next day or so, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And now knowing, I would have kept the placenta.
Yeah. Because what are you all doing with that?
Literally.
Get the fuck out of here.
But also I would have put it into like capsules and vitamins because again, it helps with postpartum afterwards.
Stick that shit in the cooler.
Literally. It's worth so much for you, but also for women and birthing individuals who have the hormones in it. And what you don't understand and what they don't tell you after giving birth is like the way your body is going to go through the withdrawal essentially of having all of those extra hormones, all of like that extra from the baby. I was drenched throughout the night after having Josiah.
Same.
I
What
literally
is that?
didn't
You're
know
like
what was
crashing.
happening to my body. Like right after I had Josiah, the adrenaline rush afterwards, and it maybe have been different with you after the C-section, but I couldn't stop shaking. I was freezing cold because the adrenaline, and people don't tell you that. They're like, oh yeah, that's the adrenaline. I'm like, what do you mean adrenaline?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, no, you can't. I had like 6 or 7 blankets on me and I was still shaking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I losing too much blood? Am I dying? What's happening?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's just the adrenaline that's coming after the baby. Like your body just went through all this. I was like, okay, this could have been a topic before.
Yeah,
that
like
you could have
thanks
been
for
telling me about
you
this.
could have warned me that
I could have had a heated blanket with me. Yeah. Quite literally seizing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like trying to get warm, having the baby on me, like not knowing. But then after the fact, like because I did tear, I wasn't told that I wasn't going to be comfortable sitting for months. Like I couldn't sit.
What was it like a first? I know that there's different degrees.
I know there's different degrees of tears. I think I almost
not
tore
that any
fully.
of them rock.
I almost tore fully, but they gave me that husband stitch.
What's that?
Have you heard of that?
No, what is that?
It's
a husband stitch.
Terrible. They stitch you tighter than you're supposed to be.
What are you talking about right now?
So
like human centipede shit?
No.
What are we talking about?
I don't know if it's like a legit thing, but this is what I've heard is like when they, if you tear a certain degree, like you can stitch back to like normal, but they stitch you extra so it's tighter. For the husband.
Shut the fuck up now.
No.
Jail.
Yes.
Jail.
Yes. And so
it's fucking Francois.
It's Francois. But well, anyways,
Dumb.
I wasn't comfortable sitting for more than 30 minutes at a time. I had problems using the restroom, which is natural for like after having a vaginal birth.
Yeah.
But nobody tells you how uncomfortable it is to sit. Like we would have to be in the car for more than 20 minutes and I was like, I was moving all around. I was not okay. Like, right.
Yeah.
And like then like not being able, like your body just isn't itself anymore.
No.
Like after having the birth, you think, okay, yeah, cool, everything's
And then you have
done.
to like wrap your head around like your.
I'm in diapers. He's in diapers.
Yeah.
We're doing all of this stuff.
And it's like you start to feel like being yourself again is so far away.
Yeah.
And it's so far away.
There's
like,
no such thing as bouncing
stitched
back.
Up, you're beaten down. The energy is sucked out of you. But also like, holy shit. The greatest thing that ever happened, the greatest thing that ever existed in the history of the planet is sitting in your arms. So you're like, every ounce of it is worth it. Women are just awesome. Like,
yes.
That's just like women rock.
Honestly.
And he's getting, speaking of, I got my husband going, we're running out of time. But
well,
he goes, no, don't wrap me out.
Let's try to find a natural way to
stop it.
Yeah, because our babysitter.
Let's try to find a natural way to induce this podcast.
To bring it to a close.
Well, I will say that you have just you are still just in the first, I feel like, quarter of your life, and you've experienced so much, and you're just such a badass. I'm so honored that you would come on here, Badass Mother Friends, for the first episode ever. The coolest guest ever.
I think it's awesome. Like, you guys are doing this as a parent. You're trying to find your footing in being yourself. Like you are this major music person, and then now you become a mom, and like you're navigating this and then turning it into something that you can share with other people. You've shared your music with other people. Now you're sharing your motherhood with other people. It's like, I know I've been doing this on social media for a minute, but I don't really talk about my son a lot because creepos.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
But
it's a whole other world. We gotta have
it's
you back,
part of
and we'll hone in on
having
that.
villages. It's part of having that support and making sure you know you're not alone. And like that's the biggest thing as being a first-time parent, second-time parent, whatever. Like it is very easy to get isolated. Yeah. It's very easy to feel like nobody understands, nobody knows, because if you don't have the same birthing story as Nancy across the, oh, I had a beautiful birth and I love having kids and I've had my 16th child and all natural. And, or it's like, okay, Nancy, great for you, but I had a traumatic experience and I had an epidural. It's like, there's no right way of bringing a child into this world. So long as they're healthy, they're taken care of, whatever that looks like, you're doing the best for your kid.
And as long as you care.
As long as you care, whether that looks like having them in your life or giving them up, honestly.
Or
whatever best.
Accidentally the pepperoni happens and you realize that.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, but you know what? The whole point is you care. Like,
yes. And it's like you just want to do the best.
Gut rocks.
Literally, you. Whatever I can do to be the best leader for him in his life until he's ready to take over. That's all that matters. And I am so glad that you've had me on here and that
I
we
learned
can
a
share
lot
this
today.
experience. And we could go on forever, honestly.
We will be, because I'm going to be harassing you probably for advice.
Listen, we can talk. I mean, I've had 9 years of this and I still feel brand new to this. And again, the one piece of advice I can give you is that nobody knows how to be a parent to Charlie better than you.
Oh, man.
That most innate feeling that you have, just trust it and give yourself grace, because this is the first time being a mom. This is the first time of her being here, and this is the first time of you being here.
Yeah.
And as long as you put her first, that's ultimately what it's about.
Do you have any other last pieces of advice for any new moms out there that got you through first time motherhood? And
honestly, my village did get me through my first time of being a mom. Being alone before having Josiah, it was a pretty dark place, honestly. After him, he gave me my reason for being here, and I would never give it up for the world, because he is my reason for everything. But also, they cannot be your only reason for living. You have to still be you. You cannot just be a mom. You cannot just be a wife. You cannot just be a partner. You have to be you, and you have to take care of yourself, because if you do not take care of yourself, you cannot give to them. Like they say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So I understand how hard it is to leave your baby. I understand how hard it is to take care of yourself. Trust me, I get it. It gets easier once you find your trusted people. Yeah. And you have that village, you have that support system, because if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to go crazy, and that baby deserves you at 100%.
That baby deserves a strong mama.
Correct. And that means feeding back into yourself, taking care of yourself, going on walks by yourself, taking care of your mental and all of that, because they are going to see you and how you show up in the world, and that's how they're going to show up. And if you're like half-assing it and like struggling, they're going to struggle.
They're going to feel it.
They are going to feel it. And so all I can say is take care of you, show up for you, and you will be just fine.
Damn, girl. You should take over this podcast.
And welcome.
Well, that was Stephanie. Everyone go check her out on social media. It's the Boobless Babe, right?
BTHEE Boobless Babe. Yes.
The Boobless Babe.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. It's on all platforms.
Go check her out. Go do your deep dive yourself. You'll see. She's a fucking G. She is such a badass.
You may not see my child, but he's there. I promise.
Oh, yeah. She's doing the thing. She's doing the damn thing.
We
love you.
So much,
Thank you so much for coming. I love you. Okay, now time to go see my baby. I hope she's alive.
Oh my God, it's been 2 hours in the same house without her?
Crap.
This is crazy.
My boobs are full.
I cannot.
All right, cool. Well, I think that's I have to pee so
bad.